Hi crafters, and welcome to Creative Moments by G. It is Technique Tuesday and I'm going to show you how to make the easiest fun fold. You are going to love this. So let's head down to the crafting table and let me show you this card. Okay, so here is the front of it, and of course you can change this however you want, but now look when you open it up. We have this pop out. Look how easy that is. I'm going to show you how to do this. Now, you can use an image like this, or you can also use a sentiment that you might want to use, and that's what we're going to do today. So make sure that you stay with us to the end because I have 2 more cards to show you that will give you some inspiration as you start to make this card. So let's go ahead and get started in making this card. Today, we are going to be working with the cheerful daisies and the kindest expressions because you know, it being fall, you probably need some thank you cards or friendship cards, and so that's what we're going to do today. The first thing you need to do is grab your cardstock so that you can make a normal card. And this needs to be a portrait card. So we are going to score at 4 1/4. We're going to go ahead and score the entire sheet of cardstock. And then we're going to turn it and we're going to cut. And the reason we do that is this gives us 2 cards ready to go. And I love doing it that way. So let's just bring in our bone folder and get these scored really well. And now I'm going to go ahead and make the outside of the card first. We're going to cut also the inside mats that we need. So because this is a colored card, we need to go ahead and add some white in there. You could, of course, cut white cardstock and start out with the white card and you wouldn't have to do this. So we're just going to cut it as a first mat, and we know that that is 4 by 5 1/4. Now I want to remind you, you can head over to our website and all the measurements will be listed there over on creativemomentsbyg.com. We need one more because we need to have our white mat on both sides of the card. So let's go ahead and cut this at 4 once again and 5 1/4. I'm going to put this to the side for just a second. Let's go ahead and get this glued down to the inside. Now, this is a very fast card. We are only going to make one because I actually have 3 other ones that I want to show you at the end of this video. So now we're going to close this up and we're going to bring in our trimmer. We are working with this beautiful DSP and it is called Fresh as a Daisy. So we need to go ahead and cut that as a first mat. Once again, we're going to cut it at 4 and 5 1/4. And I want to remind you, if it's directional, and this really is, I want it to be facing up and down like this, so I need to make sure I cut it at 4 with the direction that I want going vertical, and then 5 1/4. So now I have it vertical, just like I want it. So I'm going to add this to the front of my card. Look at how pretty that looks against the pecan pie cardstock. I just love that color. this color right here. Okay, now let me show you what I've chosen to do to the front of it. So I have taken my stitch dies and I've taken these nested rectangles right here, and I have selected 3 different cardstock colors. I've selected Early Espresso, we're going to put it down, and then Old Olive. Now make sure you get your stitching going the right way. And then we just took the smaller one for the white because I'm going to stamp it with a beautiful saying. So now let's go ahead and bring in our silicone mat. And we are going to stamp Oh Happy Day. So let's just ink up our stamp. Make sure we have enough ink on it. And then just center it right on our label. Look at how pretty that looks. Now I want to go ahead and set this up on dimensionals. So this bottom mat we're just going to glue down to the card. So let's go ahead and get that glued down. We're going to center it. And now we're going to start adding dimensionals. Let's just take these dimensional backings off and add it to our Early Espresso label. Okay, and now we have completed the front of our card. Look at this. Look how pretty that is. So pretty. And now we are ready to make the inside mechanism. Very easy to make. We're going to take some strips of paper, and these strips of paper are 3/4, and we're going to cut them at 4. And you're only going to need 2 of these strips. 3/4 by 4. And now we're going to score every 3/4. 1, 2, 3, and you're going to make 5 3/4 inch score lines. Now we're going to take our other strip and do the exact same thing. We're going to turn it long ways, and we're going to score at 3/4. And just keep moving it over. You're going to score that 5 times. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is we're simply going to turn these into rectangles. So we're going to make our folds, and we are just going to put it just like this. So on this the last 2 folds, we're going to use glue or your tape runner. I'm going to use a tape runner. And just put it together. We're creating a little box. We're just folding this over and then folding it over. One more time. And we have created this box. Okay, so we have that one. We're going to do the same thing here. We have a smaller tab. Now you can cut that tab off. So let's just go ahead and do that. The smaller tab. We just have a little bit of excess on that. We're going to cut that off. And now what we're going to do is fold this over just like that so that we have this tab exposed. We're going to add some tape and fold it over. And we have created our second square. Now the next thing we do, very simply, is just glue them together. And I like to glue the really thick pieces together. So find where you did that. We're just going to add some glue right there on this part of the square because we want both of these to be stuck together. See how easy this is? You create your two squares, you put them together just like this. We have our two squares, and you see how it very naturally goes like this? That's what you want, because this is where you're going to put the inside that pops out. So let's go ahead and just leave this right here. And I want to show you what we're going to put together. Now, I used that daisy stamp set bundle, and I cut out just the die that has all these flowers. Now, I don't want that leaf, so I'm just going to snip it off. And then all I did was use the other die. We don't even have to color them, use our blends or anything. We are just going to use the other die that comes with it, and this is the part that goes on the top, and we're just going to glue that down just like that, just to give it some added color. And if you get too much glue on your image, here's a great tip. Just wipe it off on your silicone mat, because when this dries, you can just rub it right off. Now this one has a bunch of little petals, so I'm going to go ahead and use my tape runner. And because this is so delicate, you can put this on, say, a rectangle, something like this, and cut around it. So I'm just going to glue it on this piece of paper and then cut around it just to give it some more stability to pop out. Okay, you're going to bring in your trimmer. And now we are going to just kind of estimate where the middle is, because we need to put a score line. So I'm just going to say it's about right here. I'm going to put a score line. And now we're going to add that crease. Just like this. So that it can pop out. And now we add this little part right here in the middle. We're just going to add some glue and stick it right there. So, however you want. You can add wet glue, you can add tape runner. I'm just going to add some tape runner. Once again, we added our tape just to this area right there. We're going to put it right on the center part of our image or sentiment or bumblebee like you saw, and we're just going to hold it for a second. And then you see how it opens up? Look at that. It closes and opens. So now let me show you how we put that on the inside of our card. Just open your card, go ahead and close it, and just put glue right here on this little square, right up against the score line. I'm going to go ahead and use my tape runner. Going to make sure that it's right up against and that my flower is straight, okay? And close it. We're just going to hold it for a second. Now we need to put glue just on this first little square right there and close our card. This is such a quick pop out card and it's so pretty. Let's look at this. Look at that, how it pops up. Pop. You can see how it stands up. You see those little rectangles or squares, whatever you want to call them, the little mechanism that allows it to pop up. Now, you can add another sentiment right here. We have Oh Happy Day. They open it up and they have this beautiful flower popped up. They have plenty of room to write down here. You can write over on the side. You can add some beautiful decorations on the front. I'm going to leave that up to your imagination. What do you think about this card? But wait, let me show you the other 3 cards. So the one that I started this video with was this one, our little bee. He's so cute. And then you open it up and there is that beautiful wasp or bee. No, it's a bee. And we've decorated the inside. You still have plenty of room to write your message. You see how it stands up? Now, let me show you another one. Look at how cute this is. Once again, I used DSP, which really allowed me to make this card very quickly. And then you open it up and we have a saying that just pops up. See that? Look at how cute that is. You have plenty of room to write. And finally, look at this beautiful one. Oh, we used that gorgeous frame from one of our bundles. Look at that. We used that DSP that is so pretty. You're in my thoughts. And when you open it up, look at that. Look at how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, turn it over and you have plenty of room to write your message. So, take a moment and leave a comment. Which is your favorite? Well, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope that you enjoyed this pop-out card. It is so easy. Really, it's just the 2 little squares that you create to pop out your message or your image. And so we hope that you were inspired just a little bit. Take a moment, give us a like, subscribe if you haven't. Maudie and I want you to go out and have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.